It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Part of my problem is I want the money, but don't want to meet you to get it. I don't. Part of my problem is I can be social, but I've been decreasing my limit. I won't. Part of my problem is I got a baby, I really be changing them diapers. I'm a startup, I want that investment. I came with the pitch like I'm Johnny Unitas, a pilot. I wish to be private, you feeling convicted, you must be indicted. I'm living in silence, you wish you could speak to me. I'm at the eateries, catching the itis. Elephantitis on bitchin'. Talk many y'all niggas all cricket. Fake dudes, nigga run my pension. In the post, but I can't be mentioned. I was the engine that could and I did that. My name on number like Sid Slag. I'm pulling my stunt like Sid Flat. 2 feet, I'm running my beard now. Yeah, play cold nigga that's still in my DNA. Talking my shit like Steven. They come to the table, I really don't mediate. I get the cash and it's all in my DBA. I do not tell, look, I'm in the cartel. I don't ever say a thing. I be on the ground like Tony Hawk real. Grinding till I make a way. Shots with a nigga like gon' go drill. Shout it, wanna sway my way. I just go out, don't tell me I cannot feel. Shout it, tell me I cannot feel. I do not tell, look, I'm in the cartel. I don't ever say a thing. I be on the ground like Tony Hawk real. Grinding till I make a way. Shots with a nigga like gon' go drill. Shout it, try to sway my way. I just go out, don't tell me I cannot feel. Shout it, tell me I cannot feel.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there today. This video, we're going to be picking up on where we left off from the whole George Chat Asian No Spin TV DJ that don't spin saga, okay? So as of yesterday, some new information has come out. Number one, we've got new photos of George from No Spin TV. Apparently, he's been served with some paperwork, whether that be subpoenas, whether that be him needing to show up in court, him needing to submit documents or records, texts, photos, or anything of his association with the DJ that don't spin, Drake and or Steak. We don't know. But it looks like he has been served formal paperwork for his role in something. As we all know, George is, of course, he goes by Grand Wizard on his own account, where he posts a lot of things, so-called news, so-called hip-hop updates. And of course, he also is the man behind No Spin TV, where the DJ that don't spin gives him completely free reign to do whatever he wants over there, post whatever he wants, talk about who or whatever he wants, even if that means going on a harassment campaign against other parties, right? He made it very clear that certain people get a pass, right? Last time I talked about the situation, he was saying how he put the call in to George about a story they ran concerning Cardi B, and he said, "Nah, we're not running that. Take that down." So we do know that at a certain point he can put the call in and get things taken down. However, for those who haven't had that same courtesy, we know that he's allowing it, right? Under his namesake. All that being stated, Charlemagne has been letting us know that there is an investigation going on. Names are being poked around. People are being approached. Information is being broached. And he suspects that George is going to flip on the DJ that don't spin and Drake. Okay? There's also former people who used to run the No Spin TV account who have also been accosted for information. And they're allegedly giving up the information as well. What information we'll see, right? But I also find it very interesting that articles are being written about this situation, and a lot of the articles are centering on George, aka Chat Asian. So it seems that he's going to be taking a lot of the brunt of the issue, a lot of the fall, It's alleged that they're using him as a mule for money exchanges to hold crypto uh transactions to keep them off the books, because of course he is in Australia, so he is in foreign territory. But it looks like it all may come crashing down in the very near future if that's what's going down. Okay, so let's get to these photos. So we've got this Twitter account, Zoo is a Tyrant, who I've never seen before, but they've obtained these photos and they put them out saying, George, aka Grand Wizard, chat Asian. The man behind No Spin TV is photographed in Australia dodging process servers. Multiple lawsuits loom along with possible criminal charges tied to a multinational crackdown on crypto-fueled gambling and money laundering. Remember, there's multiple RICO lawsuits out there, civil RICOs out there concerning Drake, Stake, Aiden Ross, the DJ that don't spin, and a couple of them also have George attached to it. Okay? So these photos were taken on Thursday, June 18th, 2026 at 1:34 p.m. But there's more photos. So here there's the others. Here he's out walking his dogs. Looks like he's being approached. He's putting his hand up. Here we see paperwork that's been, I guess he let it drop to the floor. He got served. He didn't want to put his hands on it. So he's trying to dodge the scene. His Crocs are definitely not in sport mode right now. But you can see the paperwork on the floor. And we've got one more just for good measure, as he's got his hoodie on. The papers on the floor. He's got his two dogs with him right next to this for sale sign. All right. So he's officially been served paperwork. Now, again, for what exactly, we don't know. That will be determined. But I'm quite sure the official documents will be hitting the net soon enough. But like I just said a couple minutes ago, there's also an article over here on inversewire.com. They say, pay no attention to the grand wizard behind the curtain. 5 lawsuits say the bets were rigged, the streams were bought, and even the chat losing its mind was a hire inside the machine that manufactures Drake. Okay, so this was posted on the 17th, just a couple days ago. And clearly it looks like all of this is circling around Stake, Drake, Aiden Ross, and whatever involvement the DJ that don't spin may have, and whatever involvement George may have. And again, it's alleged that George may be holding on to funds. Okay? They say, picture the scene, because you've already seen it 100 times. Drake, gold dripping, leaning into Aiden Ross's webcam. A 6-figure number on a slot screen, the real spin. They land. The number doubles, then doubles again, and the chat detonates into a wall of fire emojis, and he's different. A millionaire wins a million more live, while a few 100,000 kids watch and quietly do the math. If it's that easy for him, maybe it's that easy for me. Now here's the part that should make your stomach drop. According to a stack of class action lawsuits filed across 5 states this spring, almost none of what you just watched was real. Not the bet, not the win, not even the chat losing its mind. The whole thing, the single most successful gambling marketing engine of the decade, may have been an elaborate piece of theater put on by a betting company whose signature trick is that it doesn't actually bet. And of course, we've got screenshots of Drake getting hyped off of winning. He got crazy lucky, they say. The money shot. A live casino stream lands a you win. The lawsuits allege moments like these were engineered, the win comped, the game tilted, so ordinary viewers will believe they had the same odds. And if you can remember, we've read multiple articles about this. We've read through the paperwork of the lawsuits that are alleging this scheme. And it all points to the fact that Drake is being paid big money to endorse Stake, right? Stake has their international leg, which is real life gambling, real life money. And then they have stake.us, which goes off of Stake Cash. You can do all of the same things. It's identical games as to what they have in the international version. However, Stake Cash is their cover up of earning points, right? And they say that the points don't have any cash value. However, you can convert it into gold coins, which do have a 1-to-1 cash value of $1 per gold coin, right? So they've talked about how Drake will get on stream. He'll go through a losing streak. He'll lose X amount of dollars. And then calls will be made. Signals will be made by people on screen, whether it be the dealer, whether it be somebody off screen talking into the mic saying, hey, I think you should do XYZ. I think you should pick this one. Or whatever it may be. Drake then takes the advice and magically he wins X amount of dollars, right? And people watching this stuff, perhaps they don't know, perhaps they know better, perhaps they're just entertained, perhaps they're just madly in love with Drake and want to see him anytime he pops up. Who knows what their circumstances are? But nonetheless, they get to see him win big. He acts like this is what's going on, like it's real. And therefore, it influences those very viewers, at least a portion, to download the Stake app and try it for themselves, right? Not to mention, we have young, underage teenagers who aren't even legally allowed to gamble that have also tried their hand on this platform. Not to mention that gambling online casino is illegal in most of our states, which is why these state lawsuits, these civil suits, have been filed in the first place, because people have been losing money. They feel like they've been misled, and they feel like they're playing a game that they are predisposed to lose. Okay? So here they say, let's get granular, because the granular is where it stops being a rap beef sideshow and becomes something closer to a con. You and the streamer are not playing the same game. Start with the part of almost nobody notices. There are two completely different screens in this story, and you only ever see one of them. The screen you're sold on is stake.us, as I was just talking about. And stake.us is not a casino in the way that you think. It's a sweepstakes platform. We've talked about that, right? So sweepstakes is where they make it seem like you're just playing for fun and getting these points. A legal costume that lets a gambling company operate in states where real money online gambling is flatly illegal. The mechanism is a shell game of two fake currencies. There are gold coins, which you can buy in bundles, but which are worth nothing and can never be cashed out, just for fun. And then there's Stake Cash. Okay, I said it in reverse. Which are technically only ever given for free, a single Stake Cash on a daily login bonus, and which can be redeemed for real money at $1 a piece. The legal magic word is no purchase necessary. You don't buy the gambling, you buy the worthless coins, and the valuable coins come free on the side. Wink. That fig leaf is the whole business model. It's how a casino markets straight at a teenager's phone in a state that banned the actual product. New Jersey finally saw through it and outlawed the sweepstakes model in August of 2025. Stake.us quietly pulled out of New Jersey in March 2026, 1 month conveniently before the first big lawsuit landed. Okay, so now we're starting to see New Jersey pulled out. They say, we don't want none of this sweepstakes shit, period. Right? Rest of the US needs to catch up, but I'm quite sure they're in on the play at least a little bit. Right? So we'll just see how long it takes for everybody to join the party. But as they pulled out an outlawed sweepstakes in 25, it took Stake another few months, damn near 6 to 8 months, before they finally discontinued their practice in New Jersey. And the next thing you know, the lawsuits come through. So that's your screen, a regulatory loophole dressed up as a game. The streamer screen is something else entirely. A betting company whose stars don't bet. Here's the open secret of the entire casino streaming industry, established long before Drake ever sat down at Aiden's desk. The big streamers are very often not playing with their own money. So that's the other side of it, right? Not only is he being tipped on when to do certain things, but he's also playing with house money. The casinos hand their headline talent enormous house-funded balances, sometimes called demo funds, sometimes just with an unwithdrawable pile of the casino's own chips. The number on screen looks exactly like a real bankroll. It spins, it wins, it loses. But it was never the streamers, and the streamer keeps a flat promotional fee plus a cut of every viewer they convert, regardless of whether that on-screen number goes up or down. The losses aren't losses, they're set decoration. Also, when we see Drake bet on sports events, right? We'll see Drake put $2 million up for a boxing match or $2 million for a championship game. And it's like, oh, Drake just lost $5 million on this one. And in the next event, oh, Drake won $3 million off this one. Also playing with house money, just using it for promo to promote Stake to get people to sign up and try their chances at getting that bread too. But it was never the streamers, and the streamer keeps a flat promotional fee plus a cut of every viewer they convert. I didn't know about this part. Regardless of whether that on-screen number goes up or down, the losses aren't losses, they're set decorations. So the money's not theirs. They keep a promotional fee because, of course, they're being paid to promote the product. Plus, they get a cut of every viewer they convert. And, of course, convert means to sign up. So they get a kickback off of each person that signs up and tries it for themselves, even if the on-screen number goes, whether or not it goes up or down. So they could lose, they could win, it doesn't matter. It's just a ploy to get you hooked. This isn't tinfoil. The industry has tripped over its own wires for years. Back in 2019, a stream glitch appeared to show a top streamer's real money balance, matching a demo account. This very month, one of the biggest gambling streamers alive got publicly accused of running fake balances after a suspiciously clean multi-million-dollar heater that didn't show up on the platform's own global leaderboard. And the structural tale is the cleanest one of all, Kick. The platform where so much of this airs was launched by the co-founders of Stake. So it's all embedded in together. It's all run by the same people. The pipeline is clear. Stake is the ones running the show. They're the ones paying the people. Kick is their streaming platform where you get on and you gamble and run the show. You get people like Drake to get on the platform, partner with people like Aiden Ross, gamble together, run the show, run the ploy. Of course, Drake is one of the most popular artists in the world. You know what I'm saying? One of the most visible popular artists in the world. You can't go a whole 24 hours without something Drake related popping on the net, whether it be a selfie, whether it be a diss track, whether it be a leaked song, whether it be a new album, whether it be a collaboration, whether he's speaking in Middle Eastern fucking accents, whether he's trying his hand at patois, whether he's trying a new dance. Every 24 hours, there is something regarding Drake. And then on the times where the lulls happen, we get the people that are poking holes in his story, and then more developments come from that. Then you got Aiden Ross, who is also one of the most popular online personalities. Why, I do not know, but he was even influential enough to get our so-called president to sit down with his ass during the election campaign and happened to try to convert Gen Zers to also vote for him, right? So that just goes to show you the length of the influence and the types of people that they're reaching for. The casino sponsors the streamer and owns the channel the streamer broadcasts on and profits when you sign up. It is a closed loop engineered for exactly one output, turning a kid watching a live stream into a customer typing in a card number. Stake and Kickshare founders, the casino that sponsors the streamers, also owns the platform they stream. Yeah, same shit you just said, homie. Now, hold that industry baseline in your head, because the lawsuits allege Drake's situation went a step past it. It's one thing to play with house money. The complaints claim Stake outright rigged its own games in favor of Drake and Ross, that the machine itself was tilted so the superstar would win on camera, specifically to crank up the promotional wattage of having Drake appear to print money in real time. The suits say he and Aiden faced no genuine financial risk whatsoever while appearing to wager millions. Excuse me. Read that back slowly. A betting company whose entire pitch is the adrenaline of a real wager. And the one thing its biggest stars were allegedly never doing was making a real wager. Okay? All right, we'll continue. The flaws are right there on the screen if you know to look. Once you understand the two-screen setup, the tails are everywhere, hiding in plain sight inside every clip. You never see the net session. Okay, interesting. You see the win. You don't see the 40 minutes and the 9 dead spins before it, because the edit and the hype both arrive precisely on the green number. The edit? They editing on live streams now? What types of games are being played? How's it going down? The bet sizes are sized for a man with a record deal and a casino backdrop, not for a 19-year-old, but the 19-year-old isn't told that. He's just shown the size and invited to feel small for betting less. The odds are unverifiable. The house controls the game server and the broadcast. So the only proof the math is fair is the word of the company that the lawsuits say rigged it. And the win itself is presented stripped of the one number that matters, what it costs to chase it. Every one of these is a design flaw, not an accident. The product isn't the slot machine. The product is the feeling of watching someone like you win, manufactured by a company that has quietly removed all of the risk for the person you're watching and left all of it on the table for you. How to trap is baited for kids specifically. This is the part worth being angry about because it isn't subtle. The audience for these streams skews young and male. Aiden Ross's core demographic is teenagers and early 20-somethings, and the machinery is tuned to that audience's exact psychology. It runs on parasocial trust. Ah, boy, parasocial trust, parasocial relationships, parasocial everything are at a fucking all-time high. And this ain't about just kids. We're talking about grown-ass adults who have gotten swept into the draft. You know what I'm saying? A kid doesn't believe a banner ad, but he believes Drake. That's what I was talking about before when I was talking about the influence and the target audience and all that stuff. And he believes the streamer he's watched for 1,000 hours. That would be Aiden Ross. It runs on live stream immediacy. It's happening right now on camera. You can't fake that, which is precisely the instinct the staging exploits. It runs on giveaways. The streamer flinging free stake cash into the chat to get a first taste in the door. And it runs through that sweepstakes loophole that lets the whole thing skate past the age gates and state bans a real sports book would slam into. Twitch banned gambling content from unlicensed sites back in 2022 and said the quiet part out loud in its reasoning, the influence on younger viewers. Stake has since been formally accused of targeting young users through exactly these influencers. All right, so would you look at that? Another huge streaming company, Twitch, which not necessarily the first, but the biggest, They said, nah, y'all can't do that shit over here. Right? So they go and create a whole new platform where you can. And they get Aiden Ross to recruit people to come over there because he allegedly has some type of big position with the company. So the funnel is a rigged win performed by a trusted face, paid for by the house, broadcast on a channel the house owns, aimed at the demographic least equipped to spot the difference between a man gambling and a man acting like he's gambling. The kid copies the only part he's allowed to see, with the only money in the equation that's actually real being his. And the winnings pay for the applause. Here's where the loop closes on itself and gets genuinely strange. The lawsuits allege those rigged casino winnings weren't only for show, they were a laundering rail. This is where shit gets juicy. Money allegedly moved through Stake's encrypted tipping feature, described in the complaints as a wholly encrypted and substantially unregulated tool, perfect for pushing untraceable crypto to people you'd rather not be caught paying. And who got paid? Bot operators. Hold on. Not the bots. The suits claim the proceeds finance streaming farms that pumped out millions of fake plays of Drake's catalog. We read that in the lawsuit, but the fact that it's written here in such plain English is still baffling to me. And this nigga gonna do a fucking stream on Iceman episode 4, burning down a fucking streaming farm. Nigga, are you crazy? What, you gonna burn it down after you done with them? Crazy nigga. Bending Spotify's algorithm, faking a culture-wide consensus, manufacturing the very stardom that made the casino deal valuable in the first place. A rigged casino generates fake wins. The fake wins fund fake streams. The fake streams manufacture real fame. The real fame sells the casino. A perfect circle that never once touches reality. Fucking losers, bro. Got money, but losers nonetheless. Which brings us finally to the man behind the curtain, who you genuinely cannot make this up, goes by Grand Wizard. George Nugent, as they call him, an Australian named as a defendant, allegedly runs the No Spin TV account and operates in chat under that handle. The filings cast him as the operational hinge, the guy who converts the stake crypto to cash, liaises with the bot vendors, and coordinates narratives. The paid clips, the manufactured praise, the slander of rival artists, the synthetic chat hype that makes a stage moment feel organic. And per the leaked chat logs the complaints lean on, the wizard wasn't freelancing. He was allegedly taking his marching orders straight from Drake and the DJ that don't spin. The hype man for the hype was himself a hire. All right, you done got yourself into some deep doo-doo, boy. You should have stayed your ass out of American affairs. Now they finna take your ass down under. And I'll take it a step further. The fact that the DJ that don't spin is acting like he gives a fuck about you, but at the same time saying, oh, I have nothing to do with Akademiks TV, I'm just gonna say it. He runs that account. He says what he wants. He gets complete freedom over there. If he don't like somebody, he get to say what he want. That's him absolving himself of accountability and liability in case something comes down the pipeline, basically saying, hey, I gave him that page. So whatever he does over there has no kickback on me, knowing you're giving him the marching orders at the end of the day. But if you're publicly denouncing your ability to tell him what he can and can't say, you then are trying, legally it's not going to work, but you're trying to say, hey, don't look at me, look at him, right? Just like he says, I tried to get him on the phone with Charlemagne. I want to end this, right? He's making it seem like he gives a fuck about George. I don't think he gives a fuck about George at all, but he can't let George know straight up he don't give a fuck about him. And I don't think George give a fuck about him neither. Right? So they all finna sell each other out to save their own asses for real. And ultimately, who do you have beyond them? Drake. Because they all answer to his ass. He the big dog. He's giving out chains. Right? He's giving out orders. They got DM full threads communicating with Drake. Drake helped homeboy get his fucking page recovered when the shit got taken down. When asked, he said, I get my marching orders from the DJ that don't spin and Drake. How could y'all ever trust this motherfucker in Australia who ain't got nothing to do with nothing over here, living with his parents, eating fucking triple cheeseburgers, talking shit online? I don't know what year this was because he don't even look like this no more. Who the fuck is him? George, named in the lawsuits as the operator of the No Spin TV account and the chat handle Grand Wizard, allegedly the hinge between the casino crypto and the bot farms. And remember, there's a site called Clipping, which is affiliated with Kick. George is also running that. So when they talk about the clips and the viral shit and all that stuff, all these different clips that we see on Twitter, these clips that we see on TikTok, some of those, the clips we see even on YouTube, and they all are coming from Kick streams. They're putting out bounties to say, hey, clip from this stream. You get X amount of views on your video, we'll pay you X amount of money. Bullshit money, but money that's helpful to a certain demographic when you look at college age males who want to make a few extra $100. Hell yeah, I'll post this on my fucking social media page. I ain't got shit else better to do. Get a few $100. That'll allow me to work less hours at my little bullshit job. Strip away the crypto rails and the bot farms, and what you're left with is almost petty. Two grown famous men allegedly running a burner, a Finsta. The No Spin TV account and the Grand Wizard handle function per the filings and the leaked logs as a deniable sock puppet, a back room where the biggest artists alive and one of rap media's loudest voices could manufacture their own applause, seed their own talking points, and quietly knife rival artists without ever putting their names on the knife. Sit with that image for a second. Drake allegedly paying a guy in Australia to run his hate account. That isn't a power move, it's a confession about how thin the real thing must feel from the inside. That the most successful artist of his generation would rather rent a crowd than risk finding out he doesn't have one. And we're talking about the younger people, you know what I'm saying? Because that's who he consistently is trying to appeal to despite getting older. Stand back and look at the full machine. The bet was staged. The win was comped. The game was rigged. The streams were purchased. The praise was scripted. And the chat losing its mind was allegedly partly one man and a server rack. Every single layer of authenticity had a vendor, an invoice, and an encrypted tip behind it, not to mention the scripted, staged beef that Drake had with Eddie from Steak, the nigga who runs the company. Remember, they've staged multiple fallouts on stream where he was mad and angry and got in the comments and, oh, I'm going to delete my page and all this different type of shit. But then he just goes back and does the same shit all over again. Again, WWE shit. The pattern shows us none of this is proven in court, and Drake's lawyers will tell you correctly that a lawsuit is an accusation with a filing fee. Fine, but step back from the names. Drake, Aiden, No Spin, The Wizard. Because the names are the least important thing here. The machine is the story, and the machine does not care who's operating it this week. And again, Steak and Kick are really the big dogs here, even compared to Drake, because they're the ones pulling his strings. We spent the decade training ourselves to trust the wrong signals. We trust the win because it's on camera. We trust the stream count because it's a big number. We trust the roaring chat because crowds feel like truth. The pattern these lawsuits expose, true or not, is that every one of those signals is now cheaper to manufacture than to earn. The win, the number, the crowd, all rentable, all riggable, all running through the same encrypted pipe, all pointed at the people least able to afford believing them. The Grand Wizard was never the scary part. The scary part is how few wizards it takes and how much a betting company can sell you by making sure the one thing it never shows you is a real bet. The house was always going to win. The only open question was whether the kid in the chat would notice he was the one funding the show. Damn. And whatever happened to that motherfucker, what was his name, Julian? The one that was out here accusing Drake in Top 5 of scamming him out of millions of dollars. You know, it was alleged that the boy was, is no longer with us, right? I don't know. But he was out here very loudly saying that they owed him money. They took his money through Bitcoin. Drake allegedly flipped it, gave it to Top 5 to send back to him, and Top 5 ran off with his bread and spent it on jewelry or some crazy shit. Top 5 allegedly ain't even cool with Drake no more, right? He allegedly is going against him. Last time we heard anything of significance from him. Don't know where he stands currently, but that was also strange. So these niggas just got a whole operation of fuck niggas and fuck shit going on. And you better fucking believe it's gonna get exposed. Okay? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stakes I built. I had